Hello everyone and welcome to the Deepbluerenegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deepbluerenegade. I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 98. Today is Sunday, August 9th, and it is like way later than normal for recording, but it had been a really busy day. So, sorry I didn't end up recording last week. It turned out that I was busy with my mom being in town. And so as far as the result, I'm not sure I have too much to share with you guys this week. I know I have an awkward pile of things, but we'll see how it goes. So looks like I've also left things in a state of awkward as well. I just sort of schlepped it all upstairs. I ended up spending, a lot of time. I ended up spending a lot of time today outside, so there just was no way I was going to be recording outside. And after about 7, the bugs are out and it's just sort of unpleasant. So, inside it is. But what I am working on at the moment is my hitchhiker. It is a pattern by Martina Bem, and it is the Woolmice project of the week. There always seems to be something on the needles that's Woolmice, so. And now we'll see how hard it is to actually finish a row while I talk about it. I think I'm now to 30 of the 42 points, so that's good news there. It's been living in my knitting bag, so it's been getting a decent amount of love. Like, it'll be the case where, like, if the only knitting I get done in a day is, walking from my car to my desk in the morning, then this is the project that gets the love. So, it's sort of tangled. So it is nice because it is very mindless and easy to pick up and put back down again. But it can get sort of boring too, so, it's also been a very good in the dark project, so been using that as well. And then my other project, one of my other projects is a bad in the dark project, so as such. Excuse me. As such, it's not getting as much love, and it seems like it's sort of dragging other things along with it. So this is, I cast this on at SSK. I'm still dealing with the boringness of it all. I wasn't so lucky to have finished my boring project at SSK, so it continues on. The colorway is Sammy. I ended up getting it this Christmas from a swap, and it's pure base, so I knew I wanted to do a shawl with it instead of socks. I don't actually have any Woolmice Pure socks. I've only made my socks out of twin, and it's really great for twin. So, almost to the end of the row. I'm trying to think of what else to actually say about it. I think I'm getting to the point where I can actually start to notice that the ball is getting smaller. I suppose I could weigh it, and then I would know for sure about where I stand. I don't think I weighed it at the beginning, so that would make it a little bit more challenging to figure out where in the world it was that I left off, but such is life. This is not a point row, so I'll continue on. Alright, so it is actually getting really long at this point. Ooh, that all came out the outside. That's no good. Let's see if I can recover from this. So, this way. I'm also very adept at getting it tangled into things. Up, correct. Up. Almost there. Okay. So, this is where I stand in terms of yarn renaming. if I was to actually weigh this, just pull out the scale. I think it's in grams. Not bits and ounces. Must have been doing this for my yarn weighing purposes. 1/8 ounce, 1/4 ounce. Alright, there we go, grams. Alright, so how far am I away from this? Okay, so I'm 81.6 grams left, which means that if this actually was 150 grams gain, I'm not even halfway yet. Why do I keep working on it? So I am not to the halfway point, which is hilarious, but it is definitely filling up the needle now. And it has some really cool patches of pooling, and it's been a lot of fun to look at all the interesting pooling and whatnot. Okay, so there's that. The other thing, which I'm not going to finish the row on air, is this is my Fragile Heart shawl. This is going to be a gift for whenever it ends up being completed, but I am, I think, more than halfway through the border now. And so one of the questions that I had actually was, am I more than halfway through my remaining yarn? So I'm definitely playing a little bit of yarn chicken with this, which is fine. Unless I'm going to be surprised unpleasantly as to how much remains. So when I started the border, I was at 50 grams. I'm currently at 39. So I think I'm going to be able to finish this with how much I have left. Hoorah. So this was, what is it? So I am now into the ridiculous beaded portion, so it's quite possible that I'll need to go to the bead store and get even more beads. It's like, I picked those beads because I wanted to use them up, and now I am probably going to use more than I have, so. So the row I'm on right now has 2 beads per repeat, which is sort of ridiculous and why it was slow going and why I'm not going to be doing it on air for you guys. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing it on air for you guys, so no big deal there. I am still enjoying working with the Madelinetosh. It's really hard to beat this colorway. I think I still want to have a sweater's quantity of this colorway. So, and it's like, I definitely don't have a green sweater, so. Now, it would end up, I'm guessing that I would want to have like a fingering weight sweater's quantity, so take that as you will. And I probably just need to keep an eye out for when, whatever, an online retailer puts out sweater quantities, because I'm not sure I'd want to keep that close an eye on the Madelinetosh store, because that's about an hour drive, and shipping's probably cheaper than the gas in that case. Isn't that crazy making to think that it's actually more economical to get it sent to you in the mail than it is to drive there in person and go? Crazy making. So the other thing which has gotten a bit more love this week than it has last week are the short row shuffle socks. So this really matches my shirt today. So this is a Kristen Hall pattern. I'm knitting it out of Wool Misa in the Suzanne colorway. And I'm almost ready to put in the afterthought heel. I think I'm like 1 repeat away from that point. So I've just been keeping the sock in the bag so I know when the right spot is. And I already have everything all ready to go for that. So I have my little afterthought yarn, which is probably the worst yarn possible for the afterthought, but whatever. And I still have plenty of yarn as well. So that's the story there. It generally lives in my bag too, I just don't seem to pull it out as often as the hitchhiker, but now that the hitchhiker is getting long, maybe it'll get a little bit more love. Okay, so actually this might also be worth pulling the scale out for as well. So when my mom was visiting, she reminded me that, that my sister is going to be, due at the end of January, and that is less than 25 weeks away. And so I started making baby blanket squares. And I need to make them faster than one a week, which I'm already sort of failing in that regard. But this is Miss Babs Yowza in the Moonlight Stroll colorway, I believe. And this is square the first. So my question is, how much does this square weigh, such that I can figure out maybe about how many squares per ball I'm going to get. Alright, so this is about 30 grams right here, so that means that I can get, I can probably get 8 skeins, 8 squares out of a skein then, because 30 is about an ounce, right? Yeah, because 120 would be 4 ounces. 120 grams is 4 ounces. So this means I'm getting about, unless it's a really generous skein, who knows, but I don't think it's going to be a 9-ounce skein. Let's be honest here. So if I'm getting 8 per thing, this would imply that I would get a total of 24 squares. So there we go. Unless I do something crazy with all the little leftover bits for the center one. That's a possibility too. But it's looking like, yeah. So my plan of making 25 squares might be a little bit challenged by the fact that the yarn may not agree with me. Oh well, such is life. Sometimes that's hard to predict. So this is where I am right now. That is the first finished skein. Here is, Here is how far I am on the second square. I'm getting ready for the purl bump, but I actually went a row too far, so I'm going to have to rip back that row and then redo it. Excuse me, unfortunately, which is no fun, because I didn't really want to have backwards progress on the squares. I probably need to keep it downstairs, because I'm more likely to work it on it downstairs. Currently, it's been upstairs. So, that is the story there, and that's like 4 projects. I'm like, I don't know why I have 4 projects on the needles right now, aside from the fact that the baby blanket is a deadline knitting sort of thing. But that would be the only reason why. So, for spinning, I'm still working on the Hello Yarn Falkland in the pigment colorway, and so it's been turning out really lovely so far. Let's show you guys how it is. So, I think it's been turning out really pretty. And I still have quite a few of these little balls to go. So I ended up going through an entire little ball at Knit Night Friday, so that was good progress. I'm not sure if I'm gonna, it hasn't been getting a whole lot of love, because I'm really behind on podcasts, and I tend to spin while watching podcasts, so I have, several, I don't think I've seen any podcasts since going to SSK, so I've just been sort of in behind mode instead of get ahead mode. But I did want to show you guys my Tour de Fleece spinning. So this was the Tour de Fleece spinning that I believe, ended up winning me a prize, so that was cool. More on that in stash position. So this is Chocolate Shetland Fleece number 12 and Chocolate Shetland Fleece number 13. The statistics are eluding me. One of these was really light. And I'd have to look up what the yardage was. But I think it's one of them was 1.8 ounces and the other one was 1.97. and one of them was 100 yards and one of them was like 82 or something like that. So fairly good on the yardage. I haven't washed them yet. My sink is full of socks right now, and I really do need to wash the socks, and I can wash the skeins probably at about the same time, but I totally forgot. So it's been a busy weekend, so I'm not too surprised it ended up falling by the wayside. But what I did do today was I washed the rest of the fleece I wanted to spin. That isn't to say that there is no more fleece, but that I have, like, what is it? Like, if I come together and I get the yardage I need in order to make the sweater, then I finish the sweater and I don't need any more, then I'm throwing the rest of it away. It is going into the compost heap and it is over. So what I need is enough pieces in order to finish my roll-offs. So I have, what I have here is 1.2 ounces of roll-offs, and I need to finish up a bag. And everything is still wet, so I'm not necessarily going to card more roll-offs tonight, but this was sort of this was what ended up keeping me from totally finishing up Tour de Fleece, so I figure it's fine. I'm on track. I don't know, I'm pretty sure that I'm on track for finishing the Pound of Thon spin by the end of September. I'm a little iffy on finishing the sweater by then, because, Larry baby blanket. So what is it? So then this means that, like, I don't know, there are so many things that need to be completed, but if I finish spinning the chocolate shetland fleece, then I only have one more thing to spin for spin the bin. Then I will have finished my spin the bin. And what is it? I'm trying to think. In terms of stash, there's just no way that I'm going to be able. So I think the deadline is this Friday for getting all your things in, because I'm pretty sure it's this Friday. It should be 5 days from now. So Friday at midnight is the end of stash, and I've made my 5K. I'm pretty sure one of these guys had pushed me over, which then means that there's no way I'm going to make 10K in time. So in terms of, like, all my obligation things, I'm doing pretty good. I also, wanted to show, now that everything was washed and dried, the other yarn that I ended up spinning during Tour de Fleece. So these were all of my sample skeins from SSK. So, unfortunately, the white ones ended up getting a little of the blue on them, which sucks. But as far as things to get done during Tour de Fleece, I think this was a really productive one. It probably helped that I had 8 hours of spinning class. But I definitely put in some decent time in order to get these ones finished as well. So, yeah, it was a very, very good Tour de Fleece this year. Oh, and I suppose I did also start this, so I didn't finish it for Tour de Fleece. Now, I did end up winning a prize in the Completely Twisted and Arbitrary group. And what I decided to do was actually, in order to have a full project, I think this prize made it possible. So, I ended up getting a prize from Jan of Friends in Fiber. So, she has a really neat shop, and I had decided, like, this was just a little sample that came with it, so I'll probably spin it into something little. But it was a case where she had silk hankies in her shop, and like, I looked at silk hankies at, like, DFW Fiber Fest, and then I decided to walk away because I just wasn't ready to spend that sort of money on it. But I ended up getting $20 a $20 gift certificate for her shop. So I ended up picking 3 silk hankies to combine, and then I ended up getting 3 more in order to make like a full-size project out of it. So what I got were 2 of each of the mauve boudoir, there we go. I got 2 of the rainforest, and then I got 1 which was Renaissance and 1 which was Blue Moon. And honestly, I think I just have to hold it up. So this is Renaissance. So it has magentas and then some screaming greens and some dark greens. Blue Moon is a very bright blue, some dark blue, and purple. The Mauve Boudoir is very purple, so it's purples and fuchsias. And I got 2 of those. And then the Rainforest is greens and blues, so like an acid green, a dark, sort of a Kelly green, and then some blues in it as well. So I am super duper excited to get to try these out and to make. So basically what I'm going to do is I'll pull, and then I'll basically have like a pattern, so that I pull a little bit of each one, so then I get this crazy, or whatever, this variegated yarn. And the colors, I picked them because they were all somewhat coordinating. So they were all sort of coordinating, and so then that's like 3 total ounces of fiber. Excuse me. And it was only, with the gift certificate, like it would have been $42, and then with the gift certificate it turned out to just be $21. So that was awesome. So it was really sweet that Jan donated the prize, and I'm really, really looking forward to doing this, because it's an adventure. Yay! Now the other stash position is a little bit bittersweet. So one of the women who is a part of the Completely Twisted Arbitrary group died, what was it, probably, it was during SSK, so I guess that was a little over 2 weeks ago. And so one of the women in the group was local and has been slowly but surely destashing the yarn. So it was the case where this was Tanya's yarn. I ended up getting some stuff actually from Tanya before she had passed in destash as well. And so what we're doing in Completely Twisted Arbitrary is having a memorial cal for Tanya. So she really, really, really loved rainbows. So so it's the rainbow along. And so what I ended up getting from this particular destash was it a Sunday and Verrupt. It was already opened up, and I don't think you guys can even see what this is. You're just looking at it and you're like, that's just black, and you're like, it's a lie. So what it is, I believe it's translated from German to be dark and sinful. So it is purples, so a reddish purple, a bluish purple, and then all like black as well. So it is a really gorgeous skein, and we're pretty sure it's twin because it didn't have a label, but it's definitely Lisa. So all of the proceeds from the destash are going to her family. And I think that so far, like, her husband's just been totally stunned. And it was the case for, we weren't paying, fire sale prices for these. We were knowing that it was going to the family and helping them out. So, so it's bittersweet, because on one hand, it's incredibly sad that she ended up passing due to cancer. But then it is really exciting to know that her family is being fairly compensated for the yarn, because the person who's running the destash is really savvy. So that was stash position number 2. which is sort of hilarious because I was pretty sure I wasn't going to be doing any more stash positions for a while, and so, especially since it's been so crazy busy lately, so. But that's the story there. So it's hanging out in the stash now, along with the other the other things. But I'm so excited about this. I don't know. I'll probably have to like exfoliate my hands in order to really work with this little hankies, but oh well. Probably won't be until I get a spindle spin off, and I'll probably spin it with the spindle. Because that's just the sort of thing where it's just fun to do that. I don't think it'll be a good wheel project. Alright. What is it? I'm a little bit bummed that I couldn't, like, immediately start out in the Tanya Cal, because 4 projects on the needles, I don't seem to be working on the ones that are closest to being done. Oh, silliness. I don't know if I'll buckle down and finish something. I think it's going to be another quiet night, so we shall see. It was a lot of fun having my mom visit. She like helped with dinner and helped with cleaning the house and making sure we had everything set up that we'd needed. And we ended up having a lot of fun going, like, whatever. So I got to take her to some of my favorite places, and we tried some new places, and sometimes that succeeded, and sometimes that failed. We ended up spending a lot of time, whatever, looking for furniture, so nothing has been bought yet, but I think, we got everyone on board. So that is the story there. So it was just the case where, that Sunday night was really busy, so it was just, whatever. I thought I was going to have time to record, but it turned out that, like, it didn't end up working out, so, yeah, you just got a long episode today, so no worries. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I'm, like, super duper far behind on, like, keeping up with my stash uploads. Oh my goodness gracious. So there's probably a lot of Ravelry time I need to put in order to have everything up to date. Because I really like having my stash be everything, so then if I need to search for a yarn or something like that, it's no big deal. And I've just been all behind. So hopefully, whenever I can set aside some time and at least get the SSK stuff out. And then additionally, like, trying to finish some things so that I can participate in the cals I want to do. So, like, it would be nice to at least start my Pound of Fun sweater before the deadline. It would be nice to pick out, I'm wondering if I want to do I ended up getting a pair of fiber optic gradients from Tanya, so I think that's probably going to end up being the spin I decide to do. And hopefully the cow's still going on by then. So, and I don't know, it's just a case where trying to refresh everything and get, new and exciting things started, but I have to finish all the boring crap. I should be able to record next week, and hopefully I will record at a time at which I can drink coffee, because right now it is well past that time. And hopefully, I'll have a little bit more crafting time. It was such a crazy week this week, so I wasn't even, like, taking pictures for Instagram, so if you're following my Instagram, it was, like, radio silence, so. And I'll have to think about what I'm going to call this episode. I don't know, it was 100 all of last week, it's supposed to be 100 all of this week, and I'm pretty sure the week after will be the same, so it's probably a good thing I'm, doing all this gift knitting in the heat of the summer, because I can't bear the thought of wearing it. And maybe I'll record early enough next week that I can actually be sitting outside. Though there might be danger there. So a pair of mourning doves have taken residence in my hanging flower pot, and like their babies are actually getting to be pretty big as well. So they're a bit territorial right now. So it's a little bit challenging. Watering my hanging flower basket right now. Oh, silliness. So I think that's everything. So I should be able to record next week, which will be the 16th. The week after, probably yes. The week after that, no. It's a long summer this summer because Memorial Day was early and Labor Day was late, so I won't be recording the last week of August. I'll actually be back up in Michigan, so catch it while it's good. Dip my feet into the water, as is tradition in the summertime. So I think that is everything. I hope you guys all have a fantastic week, and I look forward to talking to you guys next week. So take care, guys. Bye-bye.